Hello, welcome back to Teen Story Share. This week we're continuing Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Puranik. If you missed chapters 1 and 2, those will be linked down below. This week we're reading chapter 3, A Not So Clever Fox. And if you need a quick reminder on what this story is about, the description is down below. The fern flower is as beautiful as the legends say. It looks more like a tongue of flame than a flower, blazing with hues of ochre and gold and vermilion. And just like a flame, Liska hesitates to touch it, certain it will scorch her fingers. It gives off a sound, a steady thrum, like a pulse, like a heartbeat, as if every root in the wood is a vein, every branch an artery, and all of them find their home in this small bloom. Rooted in place by both awe and disbelief, Liska stares at the flower. She's done it. The tales were wrong. She's found the flower, and she is still alive, for now. The most important task still awaits, to pick the flower and make her wish. Let my magic be gone, she will say. What will it feel like when her wish is granted? Will her magic vanish as if it were never there? Or will it wither little by little? Then, once it is all done, she must still find her way out of this woodland maze. But there is a glimmer of hope, and to Liska that is enough. Like a beggar, she has learned to enjoy crumbs. Without further hesitation, she reaches out. Carefully, she cups her hands around the flower's silken petals, the rhythm of its power rushing through her. Throb, throb, louder and louder until her bones feel like they will shatter from the force. She pushes through, taking the flower's stem, her wish on her lips, and... It's lovely, isn't it? The voice is not human. It cannot be. Not the way it echoes all around. She has never heard the devil speak. But if she did, she imagines he would sound the same, sultry and beguiling, smooth as water along a riverbed. She looks around in alarm, trying to locate the source, but with the pulsing of the fern flower's magic still rattling her bones, she can hardly tell up from down. Unfortunately, little thief, I cannot allow you to have it. Suddenly, the stag is there. He stands in the gateway, his head tilted to one side. What is your name? He asks pleasantly. The voice is his. The stag speaks, though his mouth does not move, and Liska knows now that he is not a stag at all. He is the warden of this wood, and it would be more than unwise to give him her name. Are you a fish? The stag muses, a sound far too predatory to belong to such a gentle creature. No? Then do not gape like one. A name is a simple thing, yet you cannot give it. Are you simple? If you are, then I shall be glad. It will make my job far easier. Liska closes her mouth, opens it again. This time her voice obeys, though it trembles slightly. I am not simple. That I shall be the judge of. He takes a step forward, then another, each pace arrogant and taunting, a tomcat cornering a mouse. You still have not given me your name. Must I? She challenges him. Her magic batters against her chest, a warning almost as strong as with the rusalka. I don't need you to tell me yours. I know who you are. He flicks an ear, coming even closer. The fern is now all that stands between them. Oh? The Leszy. A pause. Wind howls through the interlude, filling the air with the sound of shuddering leaves. The stag raises his head and takes one more step, and begins to rot. There is no other way to describe it. As if devoured by insects, his flesh withers away, his muscles decomposing as silvery fungi erupt along his flank, then rot in turn. The skin falls from his face to reveal yellowed bone and cracked teeth. His eyes sink into his skull and vanish in the blackness of gaping sockets. His skeleton breaks and shifts and reforms. It is like his body is taking itself apart and reassembling into a whole new shape. Into a man. No, a half-man. The stag's ghoulish skull remains, hiding his face from view. Moon pale, he moves with unnatural grace, his wool sukmana rustling softly as it brushes against the fern. His skin is wan and ashen, his hair white with age. He wears the wilderness like a trophy, the shapes of thistles and thorns embroidered on his sleeves, and viridian hues striping the sash around his waist. "Yes, I am he," says the demon. He is tall and lean in stature, holding himself with the elegance of an aristocrat. "As for you, I will only ask once more, what is your name?" "Kasha," Liska says quickly. The demon goes still, and so does the wood around him, as if every bracken and bough is straining to listen to their conversation. Then he murmurs, "I can hear the skips in your heartbeat, little liar. Try again." Liska's throat constricts with shock. She swallows, then speaks once more, chastened now. Liska. That is all she will give him. Her surname is hers to keep. He chuckles warmly. "Liska, Lisejka, oi, Lisku, you are not a very clever fox, are you?" The closer he comes, the more he looms, and she fidgets beneath the void-like stare of those empty sockets. "Yet you survived the Russalka. How?" "Luck," Liska says. "Lying again." "I'm not—" "You saw through her illusions, didn't you?" He leans forward and sniffs deeply. "You have magic in your blood, not so clever fox. That makes you useful. Tell me, then, what did you want from my flower?" His flower, of course. Like the Russalka, the fern flower is a trap, or perhaps a test. Another rope in the net of the Dryada's devilry, a net she is hopelessly tangled in. The Leszy clicks his tongue. "Oi, you really are simple. Let me help you then. Is it riches? Success? No, wait. With little girls like you, it's always unrequited love. Who is he then? Farmhand? Baker? Heir to a fortune? Come, not so clever fox. There is always a story." Somewhere halfway through his speech, anger begins to simmer in her stomach. When he pauses for breath, she blurts, "I want my magic gone." The answer seems to surprise the Leszy. He leans back, reassessing her carefully. "And why would you want that?" "Marishenika," she almost says, and "Tata," her mind adds. But she shoves the voice back. She does not answer, only hugs her arms around herself. "Will you kill me?" "Do you want me to?" comes the taunting response. His long fingers are suddenly at her neck, a hard nail scraping up her throat to lift her chin. "You seem like a timid thing, yet you were bold enough to trespass onto my estate and steal from my garden. You must want it badly to come all this way." Liska nods, lowering her eyes instinctively. Demure, polite Liska, easy to miss in a crowd. "If you give them no reason to notice you," Mama likes to say, "then they will not notice anything unusual about you." "I have been alone for so long, little fox. Watching over this wood consumes my waking moments. So I offer you this. Serve me for a year, and when you are done, I will grant you your wish. Even if," he chuckles softly, "even if it is the most ridiculous wish I have ever heard." He speaks it like a verdict, yet offers it like a bargain. Liska steps back, biting her lip. "And if I refuse?" "Then I will let you go," the demon says. "But you will be without the flower and without my protection. I am the warden of this wood, and there are consequences to crossing me. But perhaps you will be one of the lucky few. Perhaps you will make it back to the border before my denizens catch a whiff of you and decide they want a taste." He is terrible, Liska realizes. And worse, he is insufferably arrogant. She presses a steadying hand to her chest, trying to find reason in all the madness. A year is not a long time. It is 4 seasons, and those always pass quickly. Snow melting and snowdrops blooming before she manages to savor the crisp sense of autumn. She can survive a year away from home, even if it pains her to imagine what Mama will do when she finds Liska's note and realizes where she has gone. It will be worth it. A year is worth it. A year is enough for Liska's mistakes to fade into distant memory, for the villagers to forget their suspicions and find newer, fresher scandals for gossip. Perhaps it will even be enough for Pani Pravota to abandon her obsession with proving Liska to be a witch. After all, she has already gotten what she wanted, Liska driven from Stodoa, no longer a danger to its people. And when Liska returns at last, her magic gone, that much will remain true. She will be just like any other villager. She will belong. Belong. Yes, a single year at the whims of a wood demon is worth a lifetime of belonging. Sealing herself, she raises her chin, forces herself to look into the sockets of that ghoulish skull. Very well, she says, choosing her words carefully. For my wish and my freedom in a year's time, I am at your service. The deer skull has no expression at all, but there is an edge of mocking delight in his voice. And the not-so-clever fox makes an almost clever choice. He reaches up, slender-fingered hand wrapping around one of his antler's tines. With a sharp tug, he snaps it free. It breaks, not like bone but like a branch, splintering and cracking. He holds the shard in one hand and snatches Liska's left wrist with the other. Startled, she jerks at his grip, but he does not budge. Strange green light flickers along the branch as he touches it to her skin. Then it moves, supple as a snake. Before Liska can pull away, it coils around her wrist. When the Leszy releases her, Liska is wearing a fetter of wood. She clasps her free hand around it, shame pricking her eyes. She feels as if she has sold her soul. The bargain is sealed, the Leszy says. You are mine for a year. Now come along. He brushes past her, striding toward the manor. Liska bites her lip and takes one final, doleful look at the fern. At some point, while she was speaking to the Leszy, the fern flower vanished. Without its ember-hued light, the fern itself can barely be seen among the weeds. And Liska is far from home, in the company of a demon. A year is worth it, she reminds herself, running her fingers over the fetter. How different can serving the Leszy be from life in Stodoa? Ever since Tata's death, Liska has looked after the homestead, cooked dinners, and cared for the garden. Even if she is not the strongest or most disciplined, she is capable enough, and judging by the state of the manor, she is likely more capable at those things than the Leszy. I haven't got all night, fox. The Leshy's silky cadence interrupts her thoughts. Liska takes a nervous breath. She eyes the manor doors, menacing constructs of old wood and flaking black paint that vanish behind a curtain of honeysuckle. She dares not imagine what she will find beyond them. I only have 2 rules, the Leszy calls out. The first is that you stay out of my way. She nods, feeling faint. And the second? That you must never leave the estate grounds without me, nor the manor after dark. Obey these, and you will be free in a year, assuming you survive that long. All right, next week we'll read our last chapter from this book called The House Under the Rowan Tree. I hope you're enjoying the story. Have a great weekend. See you again next time. Bye.